coming back to you live from our rooms. I'm sorry.
And I'm Sean.
I hated that song. That was terrible. Oh my goodness.
Just the like huge swath of silence that followed that. I definitely got a look in my room here, so
Um, I mean, I'm sure you could see, because you can obviously see me as well. But my
yeah,
face was just as confused, concerned, and
understandable.
yeah.
Fair enough. I thought it was one of my best, if I'm being honest. I had the snapping, I had the kind of like the bassiness going, you know. I thought it was pretty fun.
The sound was pretty good. The lyrics, I think, could use some work.
Inject meaning into every song I write.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Every single song I write has deep meaning associated with it. And
Can
if you're not able to see it, that's your fault.
Can you explain to me the deeper meaning of that song?
I'm going to leave it to the comments and see if they can.
Okay, okay. Perfect. Comments, let me know what the deeper meaning of the outro song is. And tell me if you liked it or not.
it's going to be my 15 minutes of fame. This is where everything explodes for me. This song
This is
this is my legacy.
I'm truly sorry to hear that.
Oh man.
I think I would rather be infamous than have that be my legacy, to be fair.
I think you would be infamous if that was your legacy,
I
to
think
be
I
honest.
already am infamous, so it's fine.
Zach, what do you think you are most infamous for? Like when people think about you and they're like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's Zach." It makes me shudder. What is that thing
I
that makes
really
them
think
shudder?
it's the mystery. Everyone knows I hate them, right? But they just
Yeah.
don't know how much. They're like, is it just a little bit? Is he like plotting my whole demise right now? He always looks like he's mad, but like, how mad is he?
How mad is he?
And that's really the question that everyone should be asking themselves right now. How mad am I currently?
Everybody flood the comment section with
The comments. Hit the like button if you think I'm
I
mad
can't
right
wait.
now.
It's just like re-listen to this episode in like 6 months or a year, and then just like put a number in the comment section and be the only comment there.
Just 7.
It just has no context.
And then even better, we'll come back in like 20 years. Like, why did I just comment 7?
Okay,
What is the meaning of that?
Real talk though. So, speaking of like how mad is he, right? So I already knew this, but it was like further solidified to me this week at work. Um, I think my manager specifically, maybe kind of my boss, but mostly my manager, sees me as a way to punish stupid customers.
Wait.
Because like,
Please explain.
well, because what will happen is like someone will come in and they'll have like a laundry basket filled with 50 returns, And what inevitably happens is if they're not prepared and like really flying through the codes, like they already have them screenshotted, which does happen. And in those cases, I don't mind because it takes 10 minutes in that case. And that's pretty good for 50 items, that's pretty good. But what inevitably happens often is that the person just has no idea what they're doing and it takes 30 or 40 minutes, right? And so the whole time they're like trying to figure out and find their codes, something they could have done not in the store, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And the whole time they're just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about this. Oh, this must be so annoying for you. I'm so sorry. And, you know, for the longest time, me and everybody else still does. They're like, oh, it's okay. You're totally fine. And they just say stuff like that. But like recently for me, like this Christmas season, November, October, I just stopped responding completely. So they'll be like, "I'm so sorry about this. I'm totally sorry. I know this must be so annoying for you guys." And I just stand there, and just with a completely flat expression, just saying nothing.
It's so awkward.
Oh man, you have no idea.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
but it definitely is so punishing for them. It's bad. And sometimes I do it to people I just kind of forget. Some because like a lot of times like sometimes I'll open in the morning, it's like 8:30 in the morning. I just woke up. I'm tired. I'm not really thinking at this point. And like there was the one lady came in specifically and she had like 3 items to return. But it's still like, why are you returning crap at 8:30 in the morning? Like there's a billion better things to do. And so like I'm just like scanning her returns, not really saying anything, just the bare minimum, just like whatever. And then she goes, "So how's your morning been?" And I'm like, "Oh, I forgot that people this might be kind of uncomfortable for her." Like I just completely forgot. And then later on that day, I was retelling that story to my coworkers, and one of my coworkers who's in high school was like, "Oh, that was my mom." He's
No,
like, he's like, I know for sure because
no.
she said she went there in the morning. I'm always like, why do you go there in the morning? And she's like, I cannot get a handle on that tall blonde coworker of yours. I just cannot figure him out. Everybody else is so nice. I can't get a handle on that guy.
No way.
So, anyways, the thing that reaffirmed all of this for me to this week was my boss was like, this one specific lady who comes in like about a week, once a week to do like printing and random stuff, and she like just wants tons of time. She specifically asks for my boss, and they just like she just wants to chit chat. And he's like, I'm willing to do that for 5 minutes, you know, but like she wants like 10 or 15, and
Uh-huh.
I have to walk her out to her car afterward, and that's just weird, you know, like it's just awkward. It's just strange. Um, and my manager was just like, well, if we just let Sean have her, then like she'll stop doing that real quick, I bet.
That's so good, dude. So it was so
Yeah.
funny as you were explaining how you just your boss uses you to punish the people that come to, I was like, man, I wish that was me. That's what I want to be that person. And then you explained that you just sit there and don't respond and make this awkward situation. And I couldn't do that. I legit would feel so awkward myself. I would have to say something. Like
Well, and I used to be that way. Like I used to like I don't know if I ever really tried to conversate really. I'm not that kind of person, but like when they'd say
it's a
I'm
small
sorry,
talk.
I would say it's okay. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do that like like a human. But like something it's been 3 years, man, I guess. Like something within me just broke and I was
You
just like
stopped caring, Sean.
I can't. I just can't anymore. And so I just stopped responding. And like it's probably not the best look for like the UPS store brand or whatever for like the employee to just be completely dead. But like I don't know,
I
whatever.
mean, it's
Yeah.
no, it's fine. It's fine.
It's a coping mechanism, you know. I
It's
got to do it.
it is what it is.
Yeah. If I have to deal with them, then they have to deal with me. That's what I figure,
Ah,
you know?
you're so right. You know, more people in the customer service field should use those words as their motto.
Dude, honestly though, like when I don't often go into stores, but like I'll order at the drive-through and stuff. And when like I often pay attention to how the people behind the speaker like acts, you know? And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when I just hear that they're just like completely dead inside and they just like take my card and they give me my food, I'm just like, that was perfect. And then when I get someone who's like, "So how's your day going?" Little part of me is like, why are you doing this? Like,
No, no, I'm the same way. I was like, why are you so happy? Stop.
yeah,
Like,
what? I see where you're working. You're
I'm
working
like,
at Wendy's. You can't be doing that good.
I'm in the McDonald's drive-through at midnight. Why are you happy to see me?
You can't be happy about this. Like, there's no way.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
six
you don't
o'clock on
have
a
to pretend.
Friday.
I get
Totally.
it.
Like, I know you're just gonna like go and grumble to your coworkers once this
Yeah,
calms
yeah.
down. Like, I get it. You don't have to be happy to me. Like,
They're not paying you enough to put on this face. It's all right. Just,
100%, man.
just take my card. Give me back my card. Give me the food. We're gone. That's it.
For a
That's all that
while,
needs to happen.
like last year, there was like, or like maybe a year and a half or 2 years ago, I can't remember, but there was like a bunch of times where secret shoppers came into the UPS store and then they like leave a review to the to like the executives to
Oh
know how the
yeah.
store is doing. And this was a big deal because like one time they said someone didn't have a name tag on and like my boss lost tons of like benefits for like better pricing to buy supplies and stuff like that. Like a
The
really big
fetch
deal.
for a
And he
name
like
tag?
he went to the cameras and he watched the cameras like for like 45 minutes to find the a shot where he could prove that he was wearing a name tag. And he
Yeah.
was. So he was able to fight it. That's like how big a deal it was. But they would consistently, what would happen is they'd end up with me and they would be like, the store was very great and helpful, but they didn't do enough small talk. And my boss would be like, so Sean, you need to like work on your small talk. And I'd just be like, okay. And he's like, you're not actually going to do that, are you? I'm like, no. He's like, what about smiling more? I'm like, okay.
Hey, at least he understands. That's
One
awesome.
time, this is the epitome. It's crazy. This happened like within my first probably 6 months of working there. Um, but it's crazy because this is like the epitome of my time at UPS, I feel like. There was a lady, she brought in like tons of like plate china to ship, like just fragile,
Oh,
fragile
dang.
stuff. And it was a Saturday, and I helped her through it. And I felt like the whole time I was like really working with her and being like, okay, don't worry about this. I'll be able to figure this out and talking to her. And I put a butt ton of time into bubble wrapping everything. But of course, it broke. Um,
Ooh.
and somehow her complaints reached like the head of UPS
Whoa.
and they came back to us and she oh man, it did not feel good at the time, but she described she was like in the letter that came back to us, it said like something along the lines of the customer described the employee who was helping her as uninterested. Which is crazy because I remember in that moment really trying to be like helpful.
No! No! If only she just came back now with more China, she'd see what
Oh
it
man,
really feels to be like.
I know she would know. She would know. Like holy crap. But yeah,
I
that's
feel
I
like.
feel like
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah. No, no, you're good. Please.
I was just gonna
Please.
say, I feel like there's things like that can happen so much, especially with like just different personality types or how like people, different people think people should act like with stuff or like stuff like that. It's like I feel like, especially like if someone's an introvert or something, right? But they're trying really hard. Like it's not gonna be like the same level as even it's just like maybe a normal extrovert at times, right? But like I feel like some people just like don't understand things like this.
No. Yeah. Well, and the other thing is like once it's written down on a page like that, then it becomes like this very solid thing. This
Yeah,
person was uninterested,
right. It's not
whereas
like
we've lost all of the context for what was going
what
on.
happened. Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I 100% believe I appeared uninterested. Like that doesn't surprise me at all. But yeah, the context is now missing, right? And obviously, from her point of view, all of her stuff got smashed, and that's probably my fault. So, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever. It
Yeah.
be like that. What can you say?
I feel like that
Oh.
probably happens a ton in like just office work in general, where it's just like things something happens, but all the context gets lost. But like the hammer gets brought down on someone for something without context.
Yeah.
But it's a shame.
Because yeah, just like levels of leadership, it gets so far removed from the original
Oh
thing
yeah.
that it's just like a choice is made. Yeah. Ah, corporate America. Like
Yeah, let's really dive into corporate America.
let's just dive into corporate America. Let's talk about have you seen that meme? Wait, let me just find it. Wait. It freaking killed me. Uh,
The suspense.
Let me see here. Um,
Um, um,
um,
no pressure.
maybe I need.
I'm just waiting on the edge of my seat. That's not true, but I am waiting.
Dang it, man! Oh man, it's not coming up easily. Oh well. If I find it, I'll stick it in the video here. But it's basically there's like a strike happening at like Times Square in New York, and I don't even know what they're striking about. Everyone's got like signs up, but when on one of those like giant screens that advertises stuff, there's just like one of the M&Ms like pointing down at them. And it says, "What stage of capitalism is this?"
I actually want to see this picture now. What the?
It freaking killed me,
That's
man.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, so Sean, what are your deep feelings on Amazon?
oh, dude.
And what about Amazon Returns specifically?
Oh. Okay.
I broke him.
I don't want to yell too loud because Allison's right here, but
Oh, she wouldn't mind.
I don't want to scare her is the thing. So
Oh, she wouldn't mind.
oh, she wouldn't mind.
No, no.
I always believe when Zach tells me what my wife is feeling.
Well, I mean, she was also my wife, so.
That is true. That's a fair point, and clearly that worked out. So,
I mean, it's not my fault what happened. I had a terrible therapist.
dude, this is classic. Shoot, what's the term? It's a coping mechanism. Wait.
Are you trying to tell me that I am coping with something? I'm a perfect human being.
Rationalization,
Oh,
blame shifting.
oh,
Yeah, there we go.
oh.
Blame shifting.
No, no,
That's
no.
you.
Sean, it's not
You're
blame
blame
shifting if it's
shifting.
true.
Yeah, but like, what about the fact that like you never listened to your therapist? Do you ever think about
Oh,
that?
no, I listened. He was just a big dummy, so I didn't I didn't appreciate the advice he gave, so I didn't follow it.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's really, really fascinating that you would say that. Again, I see no bias in what you're saying, so there's
Absolutely
probably
not.
none.
Yep, nope. None whatsoever.
I think the craziest part of all of this conversation is this whole time I've just been staring at this gif of this dog freaking losing its mind.
Sean, put that on the screen real fast. Thanks. That was the very first result I showed up. That was
so
so good.
It's crazy. I need to post another picture of Meyer B to fix this, but like I'm not going
No,
to.
no,
Oh, well.
no. See, that is Meyer B's evolution.
Meyer B turns into just a rabid dog.
That is
How-
the happiest
how-
dog I've ever seen.
Dare you? How dare you? Have you seen You've forgotten the glory that is Meyer B. Clearly, you forgot. You've forgotten. You've forgotten the.
Do 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 do. Sean, I could never forget Myra B. How could I forget such an incredible man? Got it down, dude. Beautiful, gorgeous.
I only learned that much.
Well, that's the only part you needed to learn. So
It's kind of true. It gets the point across pretty well. But I do want like the higher like
Ooh, right,
you know those.
That would be good.
Those feel really good. But anyways. Zach, could I take the topic today? Should I take it?
I mean, it is your day after all, Sean.
It's my day. Oh man.
And
If
I don't
only
give
last
days away
time-
very often. So
If only last time you hadn't forced me to talk about what the only thought I'd been having this week.
we could do a deep dive.
No, a deep dive on like NF? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh,
Or
no, just in general.
honestly, we could probably talk because I feel like we brushed up on that, but we were at the end of the episode, so we might be able to talk more about this if we want to.
Hey, it's your day, man. It's your day.
Hey.
You do you.
You know what? It's my day. We're gonna freaking do it. I get to choose, and I just really like this song. All right. Sorry, I'm looking up the lyrics really quick. Because-
Hope or
Hope, yes, Hope.
I
Have you
whip
listened
up
to
as
it?
well?
Have you listened to any of NF stuff yet, or not?
I listened to about half the playlist you sent me so far.
Oh, dang! Shut my mouth. Wait a second. Let's talk about that, my friend.
Maybe I should have said anything.
how's-
Oh no.
How's that experience been for you?
It's been wild. So I listened to one song like the first day you sent it to me, like just a couple hours later. I need to actually just whip up this playlist so I actually know what song
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Here's some background for everybody. At the end of the episode last time, I showed Zach the music video for NF's Hope, and we were both just like ranting about it. Mostly me. I feel like Zach was also ranting, but mostly me. It was me ranting about it. And then I was just like, dude, if you want to fully appreciate everything going on, there's like so much of his catalog you got to get through. And so I offered to make him like an abridged playlist of the best stuff in my opinion.
Yep.
And so that's where this is all coming from.
All right, so to give a little bit of just context for you, Sean.
Please.
I don't know if you have the playlist up or not, but I've listened from Mansion all the way down to Change. So far. So
dude.
that's where I'm at.
Oh,
Got a couple more to
Yeah,
go.
you're cruising right along. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
I listened to like 5 in a row last night before bed. So that was something.
They're heavy, right? It's heavy stuff.
It's interesting. We talked a little bit about Hope last time, right? I think. And I think I don't know if it was in the episode or after, but we talked about the Black Smile, and like how I just found that like pretty, like it was unnerving in the moment, right? I have the background, some of the background knowledge for that now. I think that's first introduced in therapy session, right?
Somewhere, yeah. I think
at
that's
least
the first time
from
it's
what you
introduced.
sent me.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that is the first time it's introduced overall, actually, though. But
And then, like, even like the place he gets pushed down into has a lot more context for me now.
the mansion,
The
itself,
mansion, yes, and I kind of lost my mind a little bit when I was like, "Oh, bitch, I know what that was."
Yeah.
That was awesome. I'm really looking forward to like just finishing the rest of these songs and like having even more context. But it's really weird because as I was like listening to them, like I was like I've been listening to them like oh yeah, I like this one. This is my new favorite. I go to the next one? Oh yeah, this is a good one. This is my new
Dude,
favorite.
the NF experience, bro.
So I really can't say which one I like the most. I really
Dude, well,
liked Oh Lord was really good. It was different than a lot of
oh
his
Lord,
other songs, I felt like.
oh, yeah.
But I
Well, oh
really
Lord
enjoyed
is
it.
interesting because I believe I don't know. I'm not the most well versed on his history, which is weird because I wrote a psychological essay about him. Anyways, um, but oh Lord is interesting because he when he originally the first label he was ever signed to was a Christian label. Like
Oh.
purely Christian music. So he was like just a Christian rapper at first, but then he's still like Christian, but he was like, I don't like the label. I want to be able to, like, I am a Christian and also a rapper. Would you call your plumber a Christian plumber? That's what he says sometimes, I think. And so, like, a lot of people, especially early on, I feel like this is happening less now in his career, but early on in his career, they're just like, oh, that's just the Christian rapper. He doesn't like swear. He's like he's not that edgy, like whatever because he doesn't swear and like talk about like sex and drugs and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, but like, so Oh Lord was like such a statement, especially early on in his career, where he's like, I'm still holding to this, but the fact is, like, also, I have a lot more to offer than just being a Christian rapper or whatever.
Right.
Anyways,
Huh. That's cool.
there's
Um,
some context on that.
it's actually interesting. When I got to the song "Let You Down,"
Oh yeah,
I have heard this song before multiple
yeah,
times, and I had
that
no
one blew up.
idea it was NF.
Yeah, that
And
one
so
blew
when
up
it
for a while
happened,
there.
when it came out, I was like, I know this song. I was like, wait, what? um,
Dude, did you understand the twist at the end of that music video? Did you follow that line of
um,
thinking?
wasn't it? I'm trying to remember the music video. It was like
So
he
he's
was
like
drowning,
drowning.
and then he was in the coffin, but then
Yeah,
like
and
wasn't it? His dad was like on the pier.
right.
Um,
That's the twist. So the whole time you're hearing him rap about letting you down, and you're thinking, oh, this is his dad. He's letting his dad down, and he's hating the fact that he feels
but it
like he
was
always
the
lets his
dad
dad
who
down.
was singing those verses.
But no, at the end, the lady calls out Nate, which is his name. It was himself.
Oh, I didn't even I heard
Yeah,
Nate. I didn't realize that was his name though. That makes sense
yeah,
though.
yeah. That's
Okay.
anyways, yeah,
Gotcha.
sorry.
See, I was actually thinking that it might have been him through the music video, but then there was
Hmm.
one line or something that I was like, oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just his dad or something. And
Yeah,
then and then I yeah. But that okay, cool.
there you go. Some more context.
I'm glad I was right then wrong.
Yep. So it goes.
Um, I'm honestly trying to remember. Like, I was so tired when I listened to some of these. I'm gonna be honest.
That's okay.
I'm trying to like remember the sound or like the lyrics and stuff. I liked oh, what was it? Fetch the one where he's talking about his mom dying.
How could you leave us?
How could you leave us? I like it was interesting. Like I liked the song, even and like I felt like I could feel his emotions, even though like it's something I cannot relate to in the slightest.
Oh yeah, that song is devastating.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It was.
that's a tough one. Yeah. But like amazingly like performed and done. Like the fact that you can just like hear him crying in the background and like
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's I agree completely. Like I don't think either of us are from a type of background where very much of his past is super relatable to us.
Hmm.
Um, but I think he has a way of presenting things and bringing it down to just the raw emotion of it. And that's where you're like, I can somehow understand this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like another example of kind of like that is I think it was Outcast where he's like
Yeah.
um Is that the one where he's kind of talking about like how people would like tell them like told him like how much he has like impacted them? Isn't that like part of it?
Yes, I believe so.
And he's stuck
It's
in
been
the
a while since I've listened to
cage.
that one. Yes, definitely the cage. That's Outcast
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, yeah. Um, and then like he's talking about like he'll be like the outcast from like what's expected almost of like
Hmm.
almost like the outcast rapper almost.
Oh, totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Um,
absolutely the theme of that song.
yeah. And like so like a lot of like it's interesting that he's a lot of his raps are like about him being a rapper and like
Yes.
the impacts that has had on him. And like that's
Hmm.
obviously something I have no relation to myself, but like at the same time like the emotions still hit really hard, and I'm still like yes, dude, like this song. So it's wild how he does that. I will say like probably the ones I do end up like leaning towards the most and like really liking the most are the ones that I personally can relate to in some way. Um,
Yes,
but all
absolutely.
of them are incredible.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Um, I talked about this last time, but like the song Intro 3, um, where he's rapping with his fear, right?
Yeah,
And that I think is a good encapsulation of what you're talking about here. Because like the idea of just like having a conversation in your head in the mansion with your literal fears, right? That's a very like although it's a kind of artsy like idea, it's relatable because it's that talking to the tougher part of yourself that you don't
yeah,
always want to
yeah,
talk to. And the whole time it's presented as that exactly. It's like, what are you scared of me? That's embarrassing. If it wasn't for me, you would have never wrote therapy session. You never would have gotten to where you are without me. Um, and it's like shut up, like
right.
where were we, and all this stuff. You're crying in your room and like a baby. I wish mom was here. We all do, so we wouldn't have to hear about it every single record. Like holy crap, all these things like that. So even though it's specifically about him and like very personal to him, because like I didn't lose my mom, and like I'm not like super famous in part because of this being open about my inside journeys and stuff like that. But despite that, like I do understand the concept of looking at myself in a mirror and being like, how do I deal with the things that I are in me? You know, like
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
And I feel like
So,
yeah, no, I absolutely like what you just said. Yes, and I feel like that's kind of where my current favorites kind of like go back to for me, 'cause, like it's something I do relate to, right? Or it's like it's something that like that deep, like those strong emotions have like an even deeper effect on me. So I would say Intro 3 and Mansion, um, and then probably Hope as well. I think Hope is my favorite by far still, even
understandable.
though I have yet to finish the journey. I
I
still
feel
like
like
loved Hope.
I feel like what you're doing currently, it's like watching Endgame and then like going back and watching all of
Yeah.
the Avengers stuff that led up to it. It's like it's just like you're creating this whole like universe and you watched the completion and you're like, "Whoa, that was cool. Let's figure out how we got here." And you get to watch like step by step how it happened and it's like kind of like, "Whoa, this is crazy."
No, yeah,
um
I already like had that where it's like things I talked about last episode with Hope, and like now I'm like I've already seen like questions answered or like pieces I missed and like things are all like make
mhm.
coming together but it just made me appreciate Hope that much more.
Yes.
And yeah, yeah.
Well, okay. Um, okay. What time are we at? How much?
Oh, we're at 36 minutes. We've been cruising along.
Okay, cool. Just to end up here then, after we've just like we this is one of those episodes where I just like we just talked about something we like. We're just got excited about.
Honestly, it's those are kind of my favorite episodes.
Oh, they're
So
so fun. But just to end up here, just a couple things I really like from some of the songs you've heard. So, intro three, definitely one of my favorites. Just I love the concept behind it, and I
Mm.
love how it's all presented. I love the fact that at the end he like literally hits his fear in the head with a shovel and buries him out
Oh
back.
yeah,
Uh,
that was wild.
so awesome. The line, my therapist told me don't bury my issues, but I'm gonna be honest, man, I'm feeling great. I think that's so cool because it feels like, oh, he's this like this isn't what he was told to do, but I guess this is like good maybe. And then by the search you realize maybe that wasn't good
Right.
because he's still really struggling.
Yeah.
Um, so there's that. And then just to grab onto because this will connect to hope. So hope lyrics. Here we go. This is the wrong song. Enough. Okay, so the line I pointed out last time. Um, some would say having a mental breakdown is a negative thing, which on one hand I agree with. On the other hand, it was the push I needed to get help and start the healing process. See, if I had never hit rock bottom, would I be the person that I am today? I don't believe so. So, like, this recognition that, okay, the darkness has happened, and while it's not necessarily a good thing, it is what pushed me to start moving to get better, right?
Right.
Love that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I- I'm a prime example of what happens when you choose to not accept defeat and face your demons. It took me 30 to realize that if 30 years to realize that if you want to get the opportunity to be the greatest version of yourself, sometimes you've got to be someone you're not to hear the voice of reason. Okay. This line, I just can't let go of this line for whatever reason. I want your thoughts on it. The idea that like to be to become the greatest version of yourself, to become really self-actualized and all of the stuff like that. Sometimes you have to be someone you're not in order to start listening and change it. Just thoughts
Oh
on that
man.
concept in general.
I think I don't know, I think it's just a like not only just a line, but as a concept as a whole. I think I just agree with it. Um,
Mm,
because I feel like if I hate to say this because like it's so cliche, and it like I feel like it's gonna take away from like the deeper meaning of it. But like people always say like fake it till you make it, right?
hmm
And in a way, I do think that is something that we all do at one point or another. Even if it's like, even if we're not who we want to be or where we want to be, um, at times I would say we almost pretend to be that person in hopes that one day it will be true.
mm.
Um, but I don't know. It's like I don't know what
I
else,
think
like deep how deeper
I
I can go with that, but
no, yeah. I think something interesting about it, at least from my view, is we're extolled so much to be yourself, right?
yeah.
Um, And so the concept of and saying like sometimes you need to not be yourself, that feels bad in a way. You're like, this is me. Um, and from that point of view, that's where I would grab onto the song Change, the one you stopped on, I guess,
Mm.
or the one you listened to
Yep.
most recently. This song um, is probably my favorite by his still. I had just like I'd listened to it before, but then like one day I'd been like out driving and it came on while I was just like driving and it was just like one of those tough times for me. It was I think I was in therapy at this point, and so this song came on and like this was just such a crazy time for me when I heard it. It changed a lot for me. But like let me see here. Here it is. Okay, so I don't like new things. Got a lot of mood swings. Oh, you want to tell me something negative? I don't want to hear what you think. Tossed into my sleep every night feels like 2 weeks. Thinking about how I could have done this or done that better. Can't help it. That's just me. Lies. That's just me avoiding the change. Yeah, it's probably why the issues ain't going away. Yeah, it's probably why I always sit around and complain, telling myself that I'm never getting out of this place, right? So, out of my face if you're telling me I need to be different. That's the issue, though. I'm always insecurity driven. This idea that, like, uh, I can't help it. That's just who I am. I can't help it. That's just me. And then he's just like, lies. That's a lie. That's just that's just you avoiding changing. That's why the issues aren't going away. That's why you're just sitting around and complaining all the time because you're not owning up to yourself. You're not willing to say, "Oh, that's just who I am." Well, change that, right?
Right.
Um, let yourself get out of it. Anyways, yeah, that's so I just really love the concept of just like even like be yourself. Yes, that's still a good thing, but at the same time, you need to change too.
Right. I feel like, I'm trying to figure out how I want to phrase this. I feel like, at least for me, this was an idea that I did a lot previously, where, and it was like, it was even to a point where, like, I knew I was making, it was a lie. Like, I knew I was, like, deceiving myself, and I was
Mm.
very aware of that, but at the same time, I was like scared to move forward, and so I just like accepted those lies. Um, and um, but in a way, it's, it's like I'm trying to like draw this back to the original quote of like not being someone else, right, and not being yourself.
Hmm.
If I think that if like there is, like, say a moment where maybe you're the self you currently are or you think you are, like, isn't in a good place, then maybe sometimes I don't want to say lie to yourself, but
Hmm.
being someone else in order to start change and changing who you actually are can maybe be a positive thing.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's a it's because it's a balance thing. It's one of those balance things
Yeah.
because because it's a whole nother it's a trap you could fall into in just pretending to be someone else all the
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
That's the other side of the pendulum here, right? There's lying to yourself and just being like, well, this is just who I am and I can't change that. And then there's this other side of the pendulum where you're just like just completely faking all the time. And
Right.
there's some kind of middle ground there. And I think the middle ground is the true honesty. The
Oh,
honesty
yeah.
is I can change and also I have these problems.
Right.
And it's a recognition of both and somehow moving forward with those, perhaps.
Well, I didn't bring my I know everything tie, Sean, so you're gonna have to tell me today.
Fetch. I didn't wear it either. Oh,
What?
fetch. We're just.
What do you mean? It's your day.
It's my day. I didn't think about it though.
Oh no.
Um,
Yeah,
in
and
that
like,
case, just to end up here, just let's just end with a lyric from a song you haven't heard yet,
mm,
NF's Clouds. Here we go. This is a lyric that everybody loves for some reason. It's a great lyric. Where is it at? Here we go. Uh, who are you kidding? How could you doubt me? I've always delivered. Ripping the teeth out of the back of my mouth, the closest you'll get to my wisdom. All right. So the only way you'll truly get to our wisdom is by ripping the teeth out of the back of our mouths, people.
uh, go to Sean for that one. I'll think about it. And with that, thank you all so much for watching. I'm still Zach.
And I'm still Sean.
I'll see you next time.
Bye bye. Oh, no. How can you do this to me? I'm gonna lick
Uh,
you. I'm gonna lick ya. I'm gonna lick ya. Kiss that professor on the cheek. I'm gonna lick ya. Zach, can you hear the grinding noise behind me?
Unfortunately, no.
You cannot?
Nope.
Epic. You can do that all you want.
Sean, I am deeply offended at what you said about my dog.
Wait 1 second. What was that, Allison?
Thought you liked background noise.
Well, yeah. That's why I was checking if you could hear it. Because if you could, then you would definitely keep doing it. Okay.
Perfect.
Sorry. You're offended by what I said about your dog?
Yeah, my dog is a perfect doggo.
That thing
Yeah.
that I'm looking at right now.
Uh-huh.
That's vibrating whoever's holding it so much that their clothes are shaking.
It's purring.
It's purring.
Obviously.
Obviously, it's just
Obviously.
purring.
Idiot Nuggle.
Oh. Actually, we don't use that word in my family, so could you please not say it?
Well, use it in mine, so you gotta get over it.
The word idiot, it's pretty bad.
Yep.
It's pretty.
I'm gonna say it again.
You wouldn't dare.
I would. But I'm gonna say it when you least expect it.
Just say random moments. He's just gonna scare with you with it. I'm just gonna be minding my own business, talking about, I don't know, probably poop, and then all of a sudden it's just gonna be like, idiot.
And the best part is, I'll say words that sound like idiot, but isn't idiot. And so you never know
Like
what's
what?
actually coming. Like idiom. Got him. Jokes on Sean. I said idiot
Idiosyncrasy.
3 times now, and he didn't even notice.
Oh, how can you do this to me? I'm gonna lick you. I'm gonna lick ya. I'm gonna lick ya. Kiss that professor on the cheek. I'm gonna lick ya.